Good morning, everyone. T-Speaker 222, or good early afternoon, everyone. T-Speaker 222 XRP Future Millionaire with the side bet on X11 Future Digibite. Oh, geez. So, guys, I wanted to go over the new members of Tom's Army. They're the most important part of what I do. And honestly, it's because of each and every one of you, 160 members at this current moment, that allow me to put out this content free across all three of my stations, even on this station that's partnered. I told you I'd always put out my content free so everybody can watch it, in the hopes that if you're getting something out of it or you appreciate all the time I put in, because I do 16 to 18 hours a day across all three stations. But because of these 160 members, and I want to go over the last 4 days, because we're going to cover the last week, but these are the last 4 days. So, DJ Yogi joined Tom's Army 4 days ago. John Gibbs joined Tom's Army yesterday. Sam Ross joined Tom's Army yesterday. And Kelvin K joining Tom's Army today. I want to thank the 4 new members of Tom's Army in the last 4 days. I wanted to come on because I seen that we had a little bit of a push with members. It's only, only 4. But 4 more people that believe in what I'm doing and understand why I'm doing it. And I appreciate you guys paying it forward, because without your generosity, there's no way I could do this. So now that we got done with that, I wanted to show recognition to the new members. If you join Tom's Army, or when your stuff starts renewing now, I'm also going to be showing the renewed members starting at the end of this month. So we'll see all the renewed members. And then in the beginning of the month, I'll do it as well. So we've got members going back 5 months now. So that is absolutely spectacular. And with our oldest reigning member, not OG Gary, OG Jerry. Apparently I've caused quite the ruckus with this kids calling him OG Gary all this time. And he's one of our founding members of this channel. I kid you not. So OG honorary Gary, but in reality Jerry, my fellow Tom and Jerry member, I thank you for being such a loyal member and the founding member of Tom's Army, because you are the founding member of Tom's Army, because you were the very first to join, and you've stayed put for 5 whole months. And there's a boatload of people that have been around for 5 months now, and I can't wait to start sharing that in the next one. So, but we have some stuff to talk about. So if you want to become part of the most elusive and exclusive subscription-based service on YouTube, join Tom's Army for $9.99 a month. Not only do you join Tom's Army for $9.99 a month, you get the exclusive, oh yes, badge of me being abducted by aliens in month 1. And then you get my Tom's Army badge, and then, Dusty's BC Outhouse News you get for month 2. And then you'll get my TA badge once you get to 6 months. So some of you starting next month will have a new badge in front of your name. I can't wait. So anyhow, XRP. Oh, and that's in the video description below if you want to join Tom's Army. Again, I thank you all because you allow me to keep my content free. And that's been my goal since the beginning. Okay, so the only thing that's not up right now is my indicator. And I have to have that in right. What the hell is this? There we go. Okay. So, and you guys that are new, I do the PVT SMA 21 close. It's the predictive volume trend, or predictable volume trend, whatever you want to call it, and the simple moving average of the 21 SMA close. So, basically, when you're looking at this, it's giving you the average of volume being pushed in this time period. Even though it's only going to say, 31 on any one of these given periods, it's giving you the actual price, the volume flow compared to the price. So when you're looking at it in the dailies, in the weeklies, you see that 7 billion, 8 billion as we come across the weeklies. And it's telling you, okay, we're at 8.12 and our average is 8.04 there. So it's slightly up, and it's telling you as it goes along. So then we go into the daily. I've been pretty consistent. Our price volume trend, there hasn't been anything more or less. Even when we went up, we didn't pick up any added volume. So what I like to do in times like this, and you see we broke out of this uptrend, which is why we have this watch, and I don't know where the other part of this arrow is. Oh no, that's how I had it. It's just run a bigger time frame. So that's what we had to see if we get back to the top side or keep riding this down. But as you can see, this looks like shit. Let me bring it down into the smaller time frame. Yeah, it looks terrible. I don't know why it's down like that. God, everybody keeps blocking my stuff. Okay, now I know I had it like that. We were in the 45. It didn't look terrible. So this is all right. This is okay. It's over it right now. I think I actually need to pull it back a little bit because I think it's out too far. So yeah, okay. Now I see. So the 45, we're trying to get over this so we can get into this inside out wedge. This makes perfect sense now. I just had it in too high of a time frame. So we're trying to do this because we've got to get to the top side of this, ladies and gentlemen. If we don't get to the top side of 113, we're going down to 108. And if 108 does, or $1.01, if 108 doesn't hold, that's why this downtrending resistance is so important the way I laid it out. Because right now we're using it as downtrending support if we stay on the side of it, on the top side, but without any kind of bounce or volume and doing this, you would just ride this down and then eventually just fall down into here. That's what would happen either way, because you would just end up falling back in here. So that's why I've been having a big watch on this $1.17, because if we break through $1.08, we're going to $1.17 at the double bottom. That's why earlier, even in my headline, I said XRP crash watch. We're going to 1017 if the 108 support doesn't hold. And how true that's holding up right now, because the only thing keeping us from crashing right now is the fact that it pulled back to our 108 support. It almost fell through. Like I said before, the 106 is that last-ditch effort to pull up. It's not a technical support, but it is, because it pulls up from this area. So it pulled back up, and now it's starting to, you know, it's trading between now. So this is getting a little tricky here, because if it doesn't come up soon, we're coming back to $1.01. And Bitcoin, God bless Bitcoin for all it did. But if you bring this out to the bigger time frame, guys, there's a lot more going on here than just what it looks like. We're in a symmetrical triangle from farther out. And let me clear out some of these brush strokes so it's easier to see. But we're in a symmetrical triangle from a farther out time frame. And yes, right now, we're in a downtrend on the way back down. But this is normal. We're going back to the bottom of the symmetrical triangle. We're going to have downtrends. We've had up and down fashion, like we've been saying, and like you guys have been saying, and some of you in the comments have been absolutely dead on. So, you know, in the higher time frames, it looks weird. But in the symmetrical triangle, you see we're staying in it. We had formed an uptrend. We broke out of the uptrend, and now we're in a small downtrend. Unless we can correct that and come back up, this is going to be the downtrend that eventually leads us, how I have it, to $1.01. And then further, because you can even start drawing this out now, but I don't want to do it yet because there's going to be too many lines. So if we bring it back into the 45 minutes so you guys can see, we're using this downtrending resistance as a downtrending support right now. Either way, we've got to get off this line and we got to get outside this inside out wedge. Because what we've essentially done after we broke off, we came down here, came back up, and now because we're up here, we could have created an inside wedge type of trade. Or we came up here, we're straddling this, and then it just means we're going to come back down here, which is likely what would happen before any kind of bounce. So I'm looking for that double bottom hold. That's what I'm looking for, because this is telling us everything we need to know. That this looks like a come back down. And Bitcoin had its little rally, but now Bitcoin is starting to, you know, struggle here a little bit. So it all depends on Bitcoin for XRP. If Bitcoin can somehow break out of this and touch the all-time high, then we might have something. But this looks like it created the Batman top, and there's not much I can do about it unless it breaks over that 62,991 and does something like this and starts riding it. Then we can start talking again. I'm not objective. I'm not going to say, oh, it's not going to go up. I always say when it's going to go up or down. I just personally feel like we're in a bull trap. We could go to 100,000 in a bull trap. All the bull trap means is when we get to the top, we're pulling the rug out and we're coming back to lower than when we started the trap. Go up as high as it wants. As I've said from the beginning, we don't know how high it's going to go. So that's Bitcoin. And then I wanted to touch on XLM real quick. It's down under 38 cents. And now it's fallen back inside of this. And it's crazy how nicely XLM's playing out to the way we drew out our pattern. For anybody new, make sure to hit that subscribe button. Turn that bell notification off. Obviously, guys, it helps me if you guys subscribe. I know we've had a lot more new people to my channel. 23% of you are not subscribed that are watching my content. We're getting almost, you know, close to 3,900 subscribers. So we're only 19 away. So if you're on the fence about subscribing, hit that subscribe button and make sure to hit that motherfucking like button while you're at it. So this is our symmetrical triangle. And look, guys, we've stayed within it the whole time. Now we went above it in the uptrend, and now we broke back down to show that our downtrend on our symmetrical triangle, the one that we created, not the rest of YouTube, because they're insisting that we're going back up to way to the all-time highs with XLM. But this is what's played out through this to this point. So to me, it's logical that we got to come back down and touch some kind of support, whether it's at 35.1. We don't know. But I would say, if you look at XLM, we came all the way down, guys, for a brief period yesterday. Let me go back down on the smaller time frame so you guys can see how this played out. But we stayed on the uptrending support, even all the way. That's the 13th, but look how this went. Then we had the 16th. Now we have the 17th. But look how the 16th got up to 41 cents, came back down to 36.4. This could very well pull down to 36.5 or come down here to 35.2. We don't know with XLM. But you're better off buying now that it broke that mid support, which is the line going through right there in the middle of the uptrend. And the reason that's there is because that is the symmetrical triangle acting as the resistance. So this is what we have to watch. This is what we have to pay attention to. And you would be more comfortable buying XLM where the confluent point is right here. This would be your sweet spot if it's going to hold somewhere in here, that 35.1. You try to buy these sweet zones, and that would be a sweet zone, because then if you were to buy it at 35.1 and it played the double top, at least now you don't have to debate and whether or not to sell or not because you didn't make enough. That's 17% for the double top, 18%. Stay blessed, everybody. I hope this helps. And do not leave without hitting that like button. I beg of you. I'm on my knees, guys. Do you really want my station to go into liquidation? Do you really want to watch all this other nonsense? And I actually have proof that somebody on YouTube is breaking the rules and regulations, but I won't share it yet unless you guys implore me to. It's somebody with 51,800 subscribers, and he's a flip-flopper on XRP, but his comments, all you have to do is go in them, and every single comment says the same shit. And I went back, and it's the same thing on every video, and I click on the people's names, they say the same thing, XRP subscribed, and hundreds of videos, the exact same thing. And that goes against the terms and services of YouTube. You cannot use a bot service to boost your views, your comments, or your subscribers, because you get paid as a partner. So that's a direct violation of the terms and services. And oh yes, it's in there. It's in there and in Twitch. I used to be on both services. So to this person who is doing this, I implore you to stop. And I will only call him out by his partial name, Aiden.